Wake up your body, the secret that will transform your health in just 15 minutes. Have you ever wondered why some 90-year-olds have more energy than 50-year-olds? Is there a secret that the fitness industry doesn't want you to find out? What if there was a form of exercise that only required 15 minutes of your day? What would you do if you found out that it is possible to reverse aging with a simple daily habit? The knowledge you are about to acquire can literally transform your life and completely change your physical and mental health for years to come. Find out right now how ordinary people are achieving extraordinary results without spending endless hours in the gym. Get ready to discover a revolutionary method that Olympic athletes use to gain an advantage over their competitors. The most amazing thing is that anyone can implement this method, regardless of their age or current physical condition. Let's get started. Surprising revelation: why your body can be strong at 90. Muscle knows no age. This is a truth that few health professionals share. Whether you're a 9-year-old or a 90-year-old, your body has the ability to be strong and healthy. Search the internet for centenarian athletes, and you'll be amazed at what these amazing people are doing. A naturopath who worked with me for 5 years had an interesting app on her phone. The app showed the photo of two women, both 80 years old. One was overweight, bent over and using a cane to support herself. The other wore a sports top and jogging pants, with abdominal muscles clearly visible. Two women of the same age, but completely different realities. The difference between them? One kept her muscles active throughout her life, while the other allowed her body to deteriorate. Muscle doesn't really know age, and that means you can transform your body at any point in life. This is extraordinary news that should be published in all the newspapers in the country. But transformation doesn't happen naturally. You need to make conscious decisions every day. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to have a strong and healthy body at the age of 80, capable of doing everything you want without limitations? The decision that will change your future. Prepare your body now, or suffer later. It is crucial to prepare for the last years of our life. How many people neglect this aspect and end up spending their final years in suffering? We need to prepare properly for the years to come. One of the most effective ways to do this is to keep your body strong and fit. Of course, it is important to provide the body with plenty of water and nutritious food, as we have already seen. But what is really the best form of exercise? A lot of people tell me, I don't exercise because I just don't have the time. This excuse is understandable in the fast-paced world we live in, but is it really valid? I'm going to introduce you to a form of exercise that requires only 15 minutes a day. Sounds interesting. I used to think I was always active enough, moving around in the garden, running around, busy with household chores. About 15 years ago, during a trip to New Zealand, I had an eye-opening experience. The hostess I stayed with invited me for a 5-kilometer morning walk through the woods. I thought it would be easy, since I considered myself an active person. After only 2 miles, I could barely keep up with her, even though she was twice my size and 10 years younger. The next morning, I woke up with pains all over my body, almost unable to move. Even so, I went to the walk again, because as a health educator, I felt obliged to participate. That experience taught me that being busy during the day is not the same as being truly fit. Since that day, I have never stopped exercising regularly. This leads me to question: are you really preparing your body for the future, or just pretending that everything is fine? 15 minutes that are worth more than hours in the gym. The exercise that no one told you. What is this revolutionary exercise that transforms your body in just 15 minutes a day? My husband and I started taking a 30-minute walk every day. Imagine my excitement when I discovered a method that only requires half that time. Let me share another benefit I received when I started exercising regularly. My feet were always cold. I used to sit on the toilet with my feet in hot water to warm them up. After starting my exercise program, I never had any problems with cold feet again. When we lived in Melbourne, Australia, I walked when it was still dark. To fit the exercise into the routine with the children and household chores, she needed to wake up earlier. I started walking at 5:30 in the morning, in total darkness. What I found was that after I started walking, my eyes would soon adjust to the darkness. He left the house cold, wearing a scarf, hat and gloves. Half an hour later, when he returned, he had already taken off his scarf, hat, and gloves. I entered the house feeling that the environment was hot, while no one else noticed it. My friend, Dr. Jonathan Gibbs, did a PhD on the effect of exercise on cells. He revealed something striking. When you exercise in the morning, a network of capillaries opens up that, added together, equal the distance around planet Earth. This is almost incomprehensible. These capillaries are at your ends, fingertips, brain, and eyes. Exercise increases vision, hearing, and all bodily functions. Leviticus 17:11 states that the life of the flesh is in the blood, and exercise moves the blood. When I discovered that there was an even more effective method that required only 15 minutes daily, I was extremely excited to try it. This is a moment that can transform your life forever. Are you ready to discover this secret? The HIIT Revolution, the method that is transforming Olympians. This revolutionary method is called high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. The first documented evidence of HIIT training probably emerged before the war, with German trainers. After the war, much was lost, and the method was rediscovered by a Japanese trainer named Tabata. In many gyms, they still follow the Tabata protocol. Tabata trained Olympic skaters and found that HIIT gave them a competitive advantage. He instructed his athletes to do 20 seconds of high intensity, followed by 60 seconds of recovery. This cycle was repeated 6 times, totaling approximately 8 minutes of training. When it came time for the Olympics, their athletes had an advantage over the rest. In the world of the Olympic Games, all athletes are the best in their countries. Sometimes victory is decided by fractions of a second. Finding something that would give your athletes an edge was extremely important. The first book I read about HIIT was Body by Science, by Dr. Doug McGuff, a cardiologist. It proposes 30 seconds of high intensity, followed by 90 seconds of recovery for 6 cycles. My research indicates that this is probably the ideal time for most people. Most HIIT experiments were conducted on stationary bikes. For people with balance or joint problems, the bike allows for safety during intense exercise. What does high intensity mean? It's like running for your life, going as fast and hard as you can, whether it's swimming, jogging, or climbing hills. When I was in Mount Isa, Australia, there were steep hills from mining. Just walking through these hills was already intense, almost a climb due to the incline. And what is recovery time? Research shows that the best recovery happens when you keep moving slowly. During recovery, I do stretches, light arm exercises while my breathing normalizes. Recovery time is your fitness indicator. The faster you recover, the better your fitness. This method is revolutionizing the way we understand exercise, but few know its true power. What if I told you that the benefits go far beyond what you imagine? Stay with me to find out. The cellular secret. What happens inside your body when you exercise properly? Dr. Al Sears, in his book PACE, Considered the Exercise Doctor, explains a revolutionary concept. PACE stands for progressive, acceleration, cardiopulmonary, and effort. Progressive means that the more you practice, the stronger you get. Recovery time progressively decreases, indicating improved conditioning. Acceleration means you're speeding up, not just taking a light walk. Cardiopulmonary refers to the heart and lungs, which are strengthened by exercise. There is only one way to strengthen the heart: through exercise. Let me illustrate this with a story. My son Peter, 10 years ago, when he was 25 years old, was training for a triathlon. He ran through the hills of Brisbane, Australia. During a renovation, he was dismantling an old ceramic sink, which slipped and hit his ankle. The blood reached the ceiling. It was a serious injury. When they arrived at the hospital, the nurse checked their heartbeat. Only 50 per minute. She couldn't believe it was so low. Why was it at 50 beats per minute? Because Peter had been running regularly, strengthening his heart. The stronger the heart, the less it needs to pump, as each beat is more powerful.
It was so potent that the blood reached the ceiling when it was cut.
If your resting heart rate was 70 or 80 beats per minute, the blood probably wouldn't have reached the ceiling.
In the Framingham Heart Study, with 30,000 people followed for years, something alarming was discovered. By the age of 50, most people had lost 40% of their lung capacity.
By the age of 80, most had lost 60% of their lung capacity. Remember, oxygen is the most vital element for life, and it is through the lungs that we get it. HIIT prevents this loss of lung capacity and can even regain it through intense exercise. But wait, the magic happens not only during intense exercise, but also during recovery.
When you're in recovery time, something extraordinary happens inside your cells.
The Fountain of Youth discovered how to activate the hormone that rejuvenates your body. I am so grateful to Dr. Doug McGuff and the scientists who have investigated what happens inside the cell during exercise. Let's explore what happens during HIIT. Glucose enters the cell and goes through a 20-step path that provides us with 2 units of energy. The end result of this pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. The pyruvate is fed into the cell's power plant, which through an 8-step pathway provides a staggering 36 units of power. The 20-step path is anaerobic, meaning no oxygen, while the 8-step path is aerobic, using oxygen.
When you start running intensely, both paths speed up, but the 20-step path is always faster.
This generates more pyruvate than can be processed by the aerobic pathway. The body stores excess pyruvate as lactic acid, which we know to cause muscle soreness.
Here's the amazing part. During the recovery time, the liver converts lactic acid back to pyruvate.
This pyruvate is then fed into the power plant, meaning that during recovery, your cells are burning just as much fuel as when you're running intensely.
Isn't that wonderful news? In addition, the process is cleaning lactic acid so that it does not accumulate in the tissues. Yesterday, we saw how diseases thrive in acidic environments. This is just the beginning of the benefits. By the time you reach the end of your second high-intensity cycle, your glycogen stores are being depleted.
The body needs more fuel and then releases human growth hormone.
Growth hormone is very active during our growth, but then goes into retirement. When you do high-intensity exercise, it is brought back from retirement.
Growth hormone causes the release of hormone-sensitive lipase. This enzyme breaks down fat cells, turning them into fuel. Many people carry excess weight but are starving amidst plenty, unable to access their fuel reserves. How do we access these reserves? Through HIIT. Fat provides 9 calories per gram, while glucose provides only 4. It's no wonder that the body starts burning fat for fuel during intense exercise. It provides more than twice as much energy. Growth hormone also increases the body's ability to process proteins.
It improves blood circulation to the skin, which slows down aging.
It's no wonder that movie stars pay fortunes for this hormone. Their profession depends on their appearance. But I'm offering this to you today for free. 15 minutes of HIIT a day. Growth hormone remains active for 24 hours after exercise. That's why I exercise daily. I want my growth hormone every day. When people ask me what my secret to beautiful skin is, I answer, daily exercise and healthy eating. This is the secret that many beauty experts don't want you to discover.
Ready to discover the most powerful exercise in the world? It's transforming lives all over the planet. The world's most powerful exercise. Why doctors are recommending rebounding. I'm going to introduce you to what is admittedly the most powerful form of exercise there is, rebounding. Rebounding is the exercise performed on a mini trampoline, and everyone can do it. Why is rebounding so powerful? Strength comes from an activity, defying gravity. Observe a baby. In a few days, he tries to raise his head, defying gravity. Soon it starts rolling, then crawling, and finally tries to get up. Children are constantly defying gravity, and this generates strength. I came to the conclusion that people get older because they stop jumping. Why is rebounding so effective? 3 forces come together during the exercise on the mini trampoline. The first force is to defy gravity.
The second force is acceleration, when you jump upwards.
The third force is deceleration, when you start to descend. Einstein stated that these three forces have the same effect on the body. There is not a cell in the body that is not affected by these three forces. This makes rebounding an extremely powerful exercise. Cells are constantly challenged, and challenging cells strengthens them. Rebounding is so effective that just 1 minute in the morning activates your lymphatic system for the entire day. It's hard to believe that something so simple can be so transformative, isn't it? Let's find out why this exercise is considered the most complete of all. Your body's cleansing machine. How to activate your lymphatic system in just 1 minute. Rebounding also has an extraordinary effect on your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is the body's vacuum cleaner. It has small valves along its lymphatic vessels. Your blood capillary system is similar, but it lacks these valves and has muscles around it. When your heart pumps, it moves blood through the capillaries. You can feel your pulse in your groin and neck, showing you how pumping affects the entire system. Did you know you have a second heart? It's your calf muscle. Ever wondered how blood gets back to the heart? Your arterial system takes blood away from your heart, and the venous system brings it back. It's your calf muscles that help blood come back. This is why rebounding is so effective for varicose veins. On the plane, they recommend that you move your feet, as this activates your calf, your second heart. But your lymphatic system doesn't have muscles around it or a pump like your heart. The lymphatic system removes waste from the tissues and dumps it into the lymph nodes in the neck, armpits, and groin. Lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell, process this waste. When you wake up in the morning, these little valves are closed. Just getting up and moving your arms and legs opens them up a bit. But the activity that opens all the valves in the entire body is rebounding. When you jump on the trampoline, at the highest point of the jump, all the valves open. When you hit the trampoline again, all the valves close. You need to rebound for just 1 minute in the morning to activate your lymphatic system for the whole day. Once activated, every movement you make, even scratching your head or turning, keeps the system moving. Just 1 minute of rebounding in the morning can completely transform the efficiency of your immune system. Some people say they won't rebound because they're out of balance. But it is exactly through rebounding that you regain your balance. Its balance is determined by the soles of the feet and the delicate mechanisms of the ear. Rebounding readjusts these mechanisms and strengthens your feet. There is no part of the body that is not positively affected by rebounding. Are you beginning to understand why this exercise is so revolutionary? The mistake that is destroying your knees and spine. The correct technique that no one teaches. Christopher McDougall's book, Born to Run, reveals a surprising truth about how we should run. McDougall was suffering from lumbar, hip and tendon problems. He took 6 months off the job to investigate different corridors around the world. I wanted to understand why I was suffering from these muscle problems. He noticed that most running shoes are padded to encourage impact with the heel. In the history books, he discovered that in 1960 and 1964, Abebe Bikila, an African runner, won gold medals at both Olympics. He ran barefoot. McDougall also investigated other barefoot runners. If you run barefoot on grass, you will never step on your heel. McDougall explores the anatomy of the foot in his book. The foot is designed to step on type. When you step on point, you strengthen the arch, and the ball of the foot has a cushioning effect. The fingers spread out to absorb the impact. When you step on your heel, none of that happens. He found that it is the impact with the heel that causes problems with the tendons, hips, and lower back. From this book came the trend of barefoot runners, shoes with very thin soles. When I started running in thin-soled sneakers, the muscles in my legs were sore. That's when I realized that when we step with the tip, we use a completely different set of muscles. Running with the correct technique not only prevents injuries, but also strengthens your body in the way that nature intended. This simple adjustment to your running technique can save your knees and spine for decades. It's amazing how small changes in our daily habits can have such profound impacts on our health, isn't it? Now that you know these secrets, what will you do with that knowledge? How much longer are you going to put off a decision that could completely transform your health? Your body is waiting for you to make the right decision. Today.
Transformation starts today. Your new life in just 15 minutes a day. Current numbers indicate that 3 minutes, 3 times a day, are enough to reap the benefits of rebounding.
This is almost nothing when compared to the 24 hours we have daily.
Dr. Al Sears tells the story of a lady who did only 7 seconds of high intensity and needed 15 minutes to recover.
Sounds like a lot. The good news is that the exercise is progressive.
If it continues every day, it will soon reach 8 seconds and then 12 minutes of recovery. The busier I am, the sooner I go to bed, so I can wake up and do my high-intensity exercise. I know that my performance during the day, my ability to remember and advise depend on it. How many people face the day completely unprepared? No wonder the wheel would fall off the wagon the first time a little stress appears. A well-rested, well-nourished, well-hydrated, and well-exercised body copes better with stress. Stress comes every day, but many people are unprepared. As a mother of many children, it was imperative that I take these steps to be a calmer mother and have wisdom for each child. We have to prepare for tomorrow today. We prepared ourselves by having a king's breakfast, a queen's lunch, and a beggar's dinner.
Thus, we can go to bed early and wake up rested to exercise. Who would go into battle without any armor at all?
Is the day a battle? I think we can all agree that challenges arise throughout the day. It is important to be prepared. The decision is yours now.
15 minutes a day can completely transform your physical and mental health.
It's a small investment for such a great return. Imagine what your life will be like 5, 10, or 20 years from now if you implement these changes today.
Now you know the secret that few have access to. What are you going to do with this knowledge?
Will you continue as you are, allowing your body to slowly deteriorate, or will you make a decision that will transform your future? Remember, muscle knows no age. Your body is designed to be strong and healthy at any age. The power is in your hands.
The transformation begins today with only 15 minutes of your day.
Your body will thank you for decades, and the people around you will notice the difference. Start today. Don't put it off any longer. Your best version is waiting for you.